So it's nighttime. We're loading up the 240Z. It's got new wheels and tires on it, but you can't see them just yet, especially because it's dark out. But we're gonna take it to the shop, and it's gonna come out of this garage for the first time in like a year. Yeah, like a year.
Yeah, it's been like a year. It's probably like 9 months, something like that.
But it's been getting a lot of parts stockpiled, so pretty soon it's gonna be not only running, but it'll also be driving. What is up, YouTube? Jonny B here again today, and we're gonna be bringing you episode 3 on the 240Z. It's been a while since you guys have seen this car. We've been stockpiling parts for it, and we have a lot of the stuff to get it actually running and driving properly, because last time we got it to turn on, but it wouldn't stay on. Now we got an upgraded fuel pump for it. The alternator also is gonna get replaced just to make sure that we're charging the battery as the car is running. And the clutch line with the clutch master and the slave need to be replaced because the clutch pedal just goes to the floor right now. So we can't even put it into actual gear to see if all that is good. So we're gonna be doing that today in this video. Probably upgrading some of the studs because the stock studs are all messed up. So if we can do that in this video, we'll do that. Obviously you guys can see it has new wheels. That was just a purchase that we had to do to be able to get the car over here to the shop with the blown tires and the messed up wheels and the studs that were all jacked up. It was hard to bring it, so we were able to load it up on the trailer and bring it over, so that way we can be working on the lift instead of, you know, on the floor. Just make it a little bit easier for us and a little bit more enjoyable, because at the end of the day, this project is to have fun. You know, it's not a work project. It's just something that we're doing as friends. You know, friends, family. My brother's also helping us out, and you know, we want to see this car from 1972 actually be running and driving. You know, after 10, 20 years that this car has just been, you know, in storage in California, and it's gonna be a fun experience. You know, we're excited all to drive it. We're gonna try to get that done. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to tackle is the clutch slave. Since it's like right underneath here, we're gonna remove that. You can see the line goes up there. The metal line is actually damaged once we tried to remove it last time, and it just was not gonna work. So we're gonna have to go ahead and just replace it all with the clutch master as well. So it'll have a whole new system, so we can actually use the clutch. And then one of the things that I was curious is if the clutch is still gonna work. I went ahead and kind of pried this a little bit, and it actually moves. So the pressure plate is good. We're still not sure on the clutch, but at least the pressure plate seems to disengage. So then we'll be able to see later on, once we get it running, if it's gonna work when we replace the whole line in the slave and master. So we're taking out the old line, and then now we're gonna be removing the master. Bolts are a little rusty, a little bit of WD-40 helped that out. And yeah, let's get that thing out. I took the nut off the top and the bottom, and I went ahead and took off the bolt that's holding it onto the clutch pedal. And now all I have to do, give it a little smack, and hopefully pull it out. It's coming. Now it's up. We're getting the mounting point cleaned up where we're gonna put the new clutch master, and at the same time we have the crew over here removing the alternator, so we can get multiple things done at the same time. So I have the old clutch master here, and then we have the new one, and I went ahead and extended it. Obviously I measured with, you know, the factory one, how that one was at. Went ahead and set the new one. That way when we put it in, I don't have to worry about adjustment. It's just gonna be perfectly, you know, where it needs to go. And it just kind of popped off, so now we gotta get it out. Let's remove this belt off of it. I'm curious, where can we bring this in through? Maybe over here? There we go. It's out. So we put some of the rusted bolts in the tumbler, and everything's coming out pretty nice. So we got the new clutch slave in, and we did the stainless steel line all the way from the master to the slave. Now all that's left is to bolt it down, fill it up with some brake fluid, and bleed the system. And then we'll see if If our clutch is engaging and disengaging. All right, go ahead and hit the clutch a couple times. Ah, yeah, look at that. It's moving. That's what we want. I'm gonna show you guys here the line. We kind of like routed it through the stock location all the way over there. We topped it off and it's working. So here we have the new alternator next to the old one. As you can see, it's a different design because this is more of a modern design. And this is a 40 on the stock one, and this is now an 80 amp. So back in the day, there wasn't that much electronics, but if we're gonna wanna run some more electronics, then we're gonna need to upgrade the alternator, and it's gonna look much better. So we got the alternator installed. We're just waiting on the new belts to come in, so we're sending some of the guys out to the store to pick those up. Now that we have the clutch done, the alternator done, we're gonna go ahead and install the Nismo fuel pump. So it's a pump that's gonna help keep the system primed, because this is the mechanical pump right here. And that, you know, a lot of the times, if you don't drive the car often, then you lose the fuel pressure. So what you have to do is go ahead and set it all up to where it's all gonna work, because the pump is gonna prime the system, and it's always gonna have fuel in there, so it'll always turn on first try. So we're gonna try to clean up the bottom. You guys saw earlier it was a bit dirty, and we wanna see if we can start removing some of the rust. That's just basically surface rust from the car sitting for so long. The next thing we have to install is this Nismo pump. And luckily for us, this already had the harness for the pump. We just gotta figure out where we're gonna mount it and how we're gonna hook it up. But that's gonna help us to make sure that the system's always primed and always has fuel, so it doesn't struggle to turn on. We got the pump installed, and now we're gonna be doing some of the maintenance, changing out the spark plugs and changing the oil. So we're about to do the oil change for the first time in who knows how long. We did the spark plugs, and yeah, that's black. So we took the oil out. Now it's time to put in the OEM filter. It's even made in Japan. Look at that, right there. So we're gonna fill up the engine with the new oil. It's hot rod and classic 1030. It's got that high zinc, which is what you need for these old school engines. All right, so we're looking for the wiring for the fuel pump, and we're just curious. And we saw on the video that that's supposed to be a toolbox, like tool holder. Is it in there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Let's see.
What we got in there?
There's some disc brake pads in here.
What? Are these? I wonder if these are new.
Toys.
Wait, I think these are new. You could just throw those in the front. What else we got?
Yep. Cashier's receipt from 1992.
Now look at that. May 15, 1992.
Random cone. Tire pressure. What else is in here? Why is there a random whistle?
You want to try it? You want to try the whistle? No? I don't think they had Corona back in the day.
More car wash stuff. Like wax. A bunch of wax. Why is there so much wax?
Zip wax.
A 260 emblem?
Hey, bro, no wonder the car is like it is right now. He never used them. If you would have used the wax, we would have been good. What? Why is there a 260 emblem in here? This ain't no 260. An old destroyed map.
Yeah, San Bernardino's an old Kaale one.
Yeah, that's where we got the car from, so everything seems to add up. This car was last driven when I was conceived.
The other one is just as filthy.
What do we got over there? More cassettes?
Yeah, more cassettes. What else? What the hell is this?
Dude, we needed those the other day.
Oh, we need those.
It's to stop your car from moving. Well, it's a little bit of archaeology in the old 240Z. Fuel pump got fully installed. Got a little fuel filter. You can see that's filled in right there. And now that we have that, we figured out some of the wiring. Got to finish the wiring for that. But we went ahead and started removing. Well, Juan and Angel went ahead and started removing all of the front knuckle pretty much to be able to get the spindle out. So that way we can replace the studs. The studs were kind of broken, they're kind of beat up. And we were probably gonna go take the rotors to get turned. In the meantime, we're pretty much doing a bunch of random things at random times. We're getting the wiring for the alternator all covered up over there, and then we're taking off the brake booster so we can take it and then get it replaced with a new refurbished one. So at the same time, we're gonna be taking off the master cylinder, which we have a replacement for. So this one's not even gonna go on here anymore, but we need to get another one of these, and they require a core, so we're taking that off right now. And it's out. So here we have the old one we just removed versus the new one that we're gonna put in. We're gonna put in a Willwood one. Look at that, big difference. Pressing in the new ARP bolts. These are gonna be all the wheel studs for the 240Z. As you can see, the hub got all painted, you know, sanded down, got all the rust off of it. Putting the new ARP wheel studs on it, and they look nice and golden. Look at that. We're pressing them in just so that they're in there properly, how they should be right from the get-go. So here we have the radiator that needs to come out, taking off all the hoses, and then we're gonna be installing a Koyo rad. Probably get started on like the brake booster with the new master cylinder, and then we can do the brakes later on. So here we have the new Koyo rad radiator. It's looking very nice. They're actually really thick. I'm guessing because they don't have that much like surface area, like long ways like the regular cars do, because there wasn't that much space back in the day. But this looks awesome. They had a CSF one, but all it did was look exactly like the factory one, and we didn't want that, so we wanted a nice aluminum one, so we went with the Koyo. So we got a bunch of stuff done on the 240. We were able to, you know, get it running again, have the new fuel pump installed, clean up the engine bay, install the new alternator, just all kinds of stuff. And the car's pretty much good to go for the running aspect, but now we need to do the driving aspect. And that's gonna be in for the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, just a little update on just a bunch of stuff that we were doing, all tackling it together to get the car, you know, ready to drive, which is gonna be a lot of fun. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You have a great day.